Hi everyone, so today I have this really sweet set to share with you that Darwin Press has brought to HSN for the Merry Christmas Craft Day, July 9th. If you're watching this video, this set is already available there. It's called Let's Grow, and it says it's a stitch kit. So let me just open this up. I'll be right back. Darwin Press did send this item free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So again, possibly in the little shopping bag here, but definitely in the description box. And I always link all the new things that Darwin Press has brought for that time. So whatever's available will be linked there for you guys, and you can check it out that way. So again, they always include some staple items, which are 2 sticky sheets with the applicator, some info on that, and your cutting folder for the marquee. If you do not have a marquee, these thin metal dies will fit in any machine that cuts thin metal dies. So let's take a look at this, because look, it even comes with your little stitch kit. I love this. It's your little needle threader, and then a little needle there, and it's actually a plastic needle. So really safe for kids, Simple designs. You have your cute little vases with the dies. You have your plants, and those are, like this one has some stitching. This is just like some little sprigs. You have leaves that also have stitching in them if you would like there. The little cactus. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. So cute. All these different pieces. I'm assuming these are like little bands to decorate your vases with. Maybe stems. And they're telling you here how you would want to use some of those things. So again, stamps and dies for some of them are just die cut pieces. And it's showing you here where you would put your sewing detail, which is good because this one has a lot of little dots and you might be wondering what we're doing with that. So there it is. You have dies that help you do your labels, banners. I mean, this is so cute. You are home to me, love grows here from my heart, thanks, you're on my mind, things like this. Just for you, keep blooming. And then some ideas on how you might want to execute your cards there. And again, here are the pieces. I mean, how cute. So just to give you an idea, like this label is like 2 3/4. This banner is like 3 3/4. Obviously the plants are all different, 2 1/4. And this one's about the same height. And then the rest of them, you can kind of have an idea of the sizing on those. And then here is your acrylic stamp set. Again, your stamps that are going to do the coloring for you for your pots and plants and things. And then of course the die that's going to give you your little holes for stitching. I suppose you could just use these to design like a little pot, little plant, that'd be really cute, a little masking. And then I love the color that they use on the carriers, always gives you some great inspo. Alright guys, well then we're just going to jump to it. So let me grab card base and papers and all that kind of good stuff, and we'll get started. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a real focal point for our little stitched plant, or a pot here. So I think I'm going to do a 4-bar card. I think that's what they're called, where they're 3.5 by 5 inches. So it's like a note card. It was very popular sized, I feel like, in the 80s, 90s. When I was a kid, I used to always see those, like you saw Hallmark cards, they had these little guys. And not the tiny ones like a gift card. I don't know how to explain it. But they're called 4-bar, which is interesting because it's basically 3.5 by 5, meaning the paper has to be 7 by 5. So 5 by 7, right? But just fold it in half. Kind of fun number. So I'm going to cut my A2 size paper at 5 inches on the 11-inch side, and then I'm going to cut it at 7 inches on the other side. So I'm just going to take 1.5 inches off because it is 8.5 inches. So I'm going to measure this at 1.5 and just take that off, and then I'm going to score it at 3.5. Just a really cute size card. And people ask a lot of times if I make my own envelopes for this. It'll definitely go into an A2 size, but you can also make an envelope. If you have an envelope maker, just make one for a 4-bar or 3.5 by 5 inch card. It is a standard size, so you should have numbers if you have any kind of envelope maker for that. But let's put there. I haven't thought about background paper yet, but I think I'll pick some pretty paper from, let's see, I believe this is the All Occasions cardstock. And the way I tell is the different color green and reds. The other one has like more orangey red and things like that. And this is the Occasions one. Again, this coordinates with the Today's Special that Darwin Press put out. So they have a holiday one and then they have the Occasions one. If you haven't seen those videos, I will link them in the description box. I know this is the last video I'll be putting out. You can see it again. Super cute. I know the grip mats and some of these other things have sold out as I'm making this video. I did my intro, but I'm finishing it up on a different day. So there's some info I have here ready to go. The 750 craft cards there for you guys. But let's pick a pretty color from this. And I don't know, I always like a teal or like a light blue. Let's go with this guy. And since this was 3.5 by 5, I'm going to make a matte layer that's 4 7/8. Let's do that before I forget. 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. I like 8s because it's very nice and tight, but if you don't like 8s, then you can do, you know, 4 3/4 by 3 1/4, something like that. Or just matte layer the whole thing, but, you know, do like a little color peeking out back there. And you can definitely run this through and get some, you know, embossing on there, or maybe some of the stamps, like a cute little background or whatever it is. But I'm just going to glue that down, okay? And then we'll go from there. Okay, guys, so I just grabbed some scraps from my little scrap basket. But this is also from the All Occasions paper pack, this beautiful green. And I think I'm going to get this little guy. I love that. So we can see the stitching on that one. So we can see the little stitching on that guy. Super cute. So I want to show you how to do that one. And then we have like this pot. Does it go with this? Which one has the little band? I think it's this guy. Let me see on the example. Oh, no, it's this one. Hold on. I want to use that little belly band thing there. And so I need, my goodness, my eyes are just playing tricks on me today. It's right here. I was like, do I not have it? Maybe it's just a stamp and then you don't cut it, but no, it's this one here. Oh my goodness. And I want to cut it out from this color. I think these colors are already fresh and pop really nicely. And then, let's see, the little band for it, this one. Now, there are stamps to go along with these, but to be honest, I don't know that I need them if I'm using my colored paper already. You know what I'm saying? So you can definitely, if you're using white paper, you can stamp this guy to color this one, and you cut it out, right? I believe the band would just be on its own. I don't know that it has, yeah, it doesn't have a background piece. And then our plant, like this little guy, also can just be stamped. I mean, I can stamp it on here just to be tone on tone. What they're showing you here is basically white paper that's been stamped. So, you know, it's up to you how you want to do that. I think what I will do for that one is go ahead and stamp tone on tone, because we have some little flowers too that we can add on. And of course you have the dies for the flowers, and they can just be, you know, what they are, but I think I will also make those tone on tone. So let me not misplace these things. Let me grab some ink, and then some ink for my little flowers that will go with it, or the little flower. And I'll grab the green one here. And I'll just use, that's pretty dark already, but let's go with this one, see how that shows up. These are acrylic stamps. So ink that up and just make sure this is really touching the surface. Now, I didn't use a stamp positioner, I'm just going for it, so I'm just really making sure that every area touches. And there you go, just a little something. It's got that little green edge. And then, I mean, there's lots of different little flowers that you can put on this. I don't know what these are called. I would call it like a barrel cactus. I don't know if that's the actual name for it. But we have like this little guy, or this one, or both of them. So I think I'm going to do both of these, and I'm going to stamp them in pink. I'm just going to put one on either end of this here. And get my pink inks. And let's go with berry. Give myself a little more room on this piece of scrap paper. This also came from the Occasions cardstock, guys. And again, remember, these are white core cardstock, so if you want to do embossing and then just kind of go over it with a sanding tool, you'll have that little white core show through. And just another fun way of using those. Okay, guys. Let me clean up just a little bit and we'll continue on. So if we have this piece, it's, you know, we can guess where that is, or our little flowers, and let me see if I can see right through to them. You can, but you might miss a little something, so what I'm going to do is make apertures for these two. These guys we're just going to run through, since I didn't do any stamping, and, you know, they can be run through anywhere. Let me grab, what is this? I just need a piece of scrap paper. I got a little bit beat up under here, so that'll be fine. I usually try to make the scrap paper smaller by a little bit than my base paper, but anyway, so I'm just going to put that on here. Put a little tape to hinge. I'll do the same with these little guys, but I just want to show you on this one since it's larger. Run it through your die cutting machine. If you want to do a drop shadow for, you know, or a second layer, I would definitely use a paper that coordinates. That way you'll have that to work with. But that can just be put to the side. I will clean out these little bits and I will be right back. You always want to use a clean die. That means just take out all these little bits that might have stayed back. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't remove that from the little paper that we just attached it to. That's going to help us make a little window, and it's pretty close, you guys, the edge of that, so there you go. Now again, like I said, I usually try to leave at least a little bit of paper so that this will stick to that, but I didn't leave too much today. And always just make sure it popped right back in the same place. And I'll do the same for these guys, just make separate apertures for each little flower. And some people ask if I hold on to those apertures, do I toss them out? I mean, if you can just put it back with the aperture still stuck to it, I would just leave it because it just helps you for the next time, right? Let's pop this guy out. There we go. And not too bad. Just a little bit on me. Like I said, I didn't leave myself enough paper to attach this, but pretty good. Okay, I'll do the same thing with these little guys. Pieces here, and I just want to show you I ran these through at the same time, and then I just, you know, put them where they need to be for the little aperture there. And then I'm just going to open this guy up, and we have a couple different shades of green. We have some again, that little white, kind of off-white, blue, and orange. So right now I'm going to grab this green, I think, and then this guy, and it does come with a needle threader, so if you have it, great, let's use that. And again, I like to work with my thread as much as you can handle. I usually do like a yard at a time, but I'll do a little bit less this time. Maybe a couple feet. And I also cut it in half. I do like that they came with little bobbins, so you can just kind of keep that back on there. I split it for 3 and 3 or 2 and 2 and 2 because there are 6 threads. If you're not familiar with embroidery thread, there are 6 strands in here. So I'd pick out 3 and 3. That's 4 and 2. Let's get 3 and 3 going. And there we go. And then I just separate it as I go along, so I'm kind of holding it here, trying to keep it from twisting. And it will twist. And I just kind of go along as I go along. Try to keep them apart from each other. They're not going to twist enough to get back together at the other end, but you know, it's easier if you try to keep them separate. And once you get to the end, you're going to have lots of little twists down here, so just, there we go. And like I said, it does come with a needle threader, so let's just take advantage of that. So we're going to pop that through there. Put this guy in here. If you're not familiar with needle threaders, you just put it through the eye, put your thread through, and then pull it through. And I don't double it back up, but if you want to double back up, you can. I just pull some so that there's just some, just kind of, you have a length so it doesn't just fall off every time you're sewing with it. And, you know, if you look at the images here, it's showing this like little V's, right? So 3 dots. So I'm going to start like in this bottom little dot. I'll bring this closer. And you can put a knot in this. I find that just putting some double-sided tape is better. So I'm going to pull this through. And what I usually do, like I said, is hold it down with a little bit of double-sided tape. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. Just like a small piece. I usually tear it, but since I need a small piece, I'm going to cut it. And just pay attention to the end here. And stick that down wherever it's not noticeable. If I have to come back later and trim some of that, I will. I'll trim that little bit off. But we're making little V's. Oh, sorry. So I started there. I'm going to go down in this one. And you can go back to the hole you started at, like here, and then go over, or just go to the next one and bring it down through. It's however you want to make your little V's. That's great. So down in here. So each little group of 3, just look at them and decide what you think is a group of 3. So those. Maybe this one will come up here. Now I have this little set of V's, maybe here. And again, this one I'll go back to the hole that we had come from, this one here, from the back. Just different ways to do it there. Again, I can go from this one down into this one. I guess I'll just do that. I'll just keep doing what I was doing. So up in here, and then down in here. These little holes are very accommodating. If you don't want to separate your thread, I'm sorry if that's blurry. If you don't want to separate your thread, you don't have to. You can use all 6 strands. So now I'm going to go to this little set of 3 right here. And I'm keeping it down here so it doesn't blur on us. And then again, if you want to go up to the next one, and then go down, you can do it that way. However you think you should stitch up your little V's is great. Try not to separate your threads. There we go. So I'm just continuing doing that. Go to each little group of 3. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, one here. Every little group of 3, and do my little V's. Okay guys, I'm on my last little stitch, and again, however you want to create your V's. There's my last one. And again, in the back, I'm going to stick it down with some double-sided tape. How cute is that little detail? Okay. So actually, before I cut it, I'll stick that down. Let's see if I have. Let's go ahead and put that there. There's a nice big spot right here for me to stick that down, and it won't show. So I'm going to pop that there. Okay, I'm just going to trim that off, and then we'll do our little pot detail. Just going to clean up a little bit of that white tape from this edge here. There you go. Super cute. Okay, I'm going to take this off, and then, you know, you can just put this back onto your little spool or just put it in your scrap. If you have a lot of embroidery thread like I do friendship bracelets, stitching, all those kinds of things. I just have a little scrap kind of bucket that I would put the extra in. And then there's some bright colors. Let's go with the white. This one's not going to take too much, and like I said, you could leave the whole thickness, and this time I will, just so you can see the little bit difference. Maybe take about 1.5 feet or so of that. I'm not going to split it at all, so it'll be pretty thick. Pop it in there. Even coming through here is a little thicker. There you go. And you know, they're showing you some images here so you kind of have an idea of what you're stitching. So with this one, you know, you're just going to start at one end and just go up and down through the whole thing. But let me get some double-sided tape on that. Again, a knot is great too. Just that knot adds a little bulkiness, so as you go with the double-sided tape, not there, don't want it showing, there we go. Okay, this one's going to be pretty quick, so I'm just going to go up to the top, and then basically down here at the one on the base. Now, again, do however you like, but I have to go down here so I can then go over here, right? So you have to bring it up somewhere so you can bring it back down somewhere. Now this one, I can go here, and you want these to connect like a little zigzag, so when I go there, I bring it down to this one, right, the one we just came from. So you're always going to have to do a little bit of a back step. So from here, I'm going to go to this bottom one, and then meet up to this guy. And then from there, from this guy, down to the one that we came from, right down here. So you're just kind of zigzagging your way through. Here. Here. We're almost done here. This one. To this guy. And now that we're here, I can come up this one and finish it off by going into this one. So just zigzagging through, guys. I know that was kind of quick, but hopefully that made sense. Kind of almost like a back stitch because you have to go back. Okay, I'm going to hold this down now, put my little tape, and trim that away. Okay, let me clean up a little bit and we are going to be ready to put this together. Our pieces. I am going to glue this one as flat as I can, so that means I'm going to put a little something on it to keep it flat, but just put your glue all over. Place that wherever it fits best. Right in there somewhere. So since I didn't do the stamping, that little band should go to the edge of where you stamped, but I didn't do the stamping, so I'm just holding it down, and then I'm just going to put some weight on top of this, which usually means putting something kind of like this, and then maybe like a whole machine on top. Okay, just make sure it didn't shift. Sometimes when I do that, my paper underneath will shift. I'm like, no! Okay, I'll be back. I think what I'll do is stamp my little sentiment, so... We're also going to do the same thing with this guy. I think I'm going to squish it down flat on our card base, but we'll get to that in just a moment. You know, we have all kinds of cute things. I have this big guy here. There is a die for all of the sentiments, so this is so cute. Love grows here, you are home to me. Let's see. Keep blooming there. Sorry, I'm just trying to think what I want to do. So let's do Just For You and this banner. So I'm just going to get that inked up. I think that'll be okay. Alright. And maybe some pink, since we put a little bit of pink in here. I mean, the teal color is really nice to bring back. Let's do this one since we used berry already. And then I'll do Just For You and just some black ink. That inked up really nicely. Oh, it has the accent. I thought it was just little thin lines, but it does have like some dark areas, so it looks like it kind of went in and back out. I'm just making sure everything's touching. That looks really great. Let me wipe that off really quick. And I'll put that away. Oh. And then I do have some brown ink out. Maybe we'll do brown just because it's like a plant, you know? It's cute. Okay. So just popping this on here, and just ink that up in some brown ink, and then I can just say Just For You. Lovely. Wipe that off. And my machine is in use right now, so I'm just going to wait a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, pretty good there. I'm just going to take the die for this guy, and I can see pretty well there. I mean, it might be a tad bit off, but I don't think enough that I think that'll be fine. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it on that one. So we're gonna tape this down and tape this down. I'm gonna go ahead and run that through. Again, if you're a little squeamish, you can definitely do the aperture trick so you know exactly where you're cutting. Okay, guys, not bad. I mean, I think that's actually perfect. Very, very well. Okay, so let's pretend we have this here. Oh, you know, I didn't even measure this to see if this is going to fit, and it's like exactly the 3.5 inches. That's funny. Okay, so we have that guy, and then we would have this little guy, and then our little thing. So I think I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. Just kind of want to see where this should be. And, you know, this can be popped up. It doesn't have to be flat. But I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that flat and then pop up the Just For You. So I just want to make sure this is where I wanted it to be. Really get glue all over that. Like that. And then this guy. And then I'm going to put some weight on top, so no worries there. I'm just lining that up. Cute. Okay. Like I said, I always put something down like this just to kind of hold it, help with the flatness of that. And then I'm going to pop this on here. And let that weight hold that down, and I'll be right back. So I just remove that. Put some dimensionals on the back of our little guy here. So cute. So I'm just going to pop that on there. And then we have our little flowers that we can just add on. Of course, I can put glue on the back of the flower. I'm just going to put a little glue here. Maybe there. You can put dimensionals on that little guy too. I have lots of cactuses out here. Cactuses? Yes. Cacti. Anyway. And they all have such pretty little flowers. It's so funny because I've never even knew a lot of them had flowers. And just even the most basic thing that you wouldn't think has a flower has this gorgeous flower. So that is my card. Let me add a little something else. I'll be right back. So from this set, I believe this is the Holidays Rhinestone Pearl Enamel Dots. I'm going to use this one. I love the colors on here. And I like to add some little dots here and there. So I'm just going to pop that there. And again, these are really nice and flat, super mailable, really nice that way. And I like to kind of mix them up. Maybe something there, and then maybe another one up here. There it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much, Diamond Press, for sending these items for you. I hope you are enjoying your craft day. I just... you know, Diamond Press knocked it out of the park with their today's special. Super adorable. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have the links, images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, possibly in the little shopping bag here. And I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.